Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. This is, and when I have on this visor is because I have not done too much to my hair. So today, as you can tell by the title, this is the Sew Together for Summer dress. I want to talk a little bit more in detail about some of the construction issues I had. And so let's get into it. First of all, thank you all to all my new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and thumbs up the video if you like what you have seen by the end. So here is my dress. I am going to pop up. First, I'll show you the dress close up, and then I'll pop up some pictures. But here's my collar. We know I did McCall. Is it 6891? Let me grab that pattern real quick. Yes, it is McCall 6891. I did this length of view A, but with sleeves. So a combination of both. Okay, did y'all hear my husband just yell up here and ask me a question? But anyway, so that's what I did, because this is too long. I didn't want anything too long. This hits me perfectly. So that was view A, but with C, the sleeve. So here it is. Let me take the sash off, which some of the modifications I made, I'll get into that as well. Some of the modifications I made was I added 3 inches onto the sash, just so it's long enough. I wanted it to be long enough. I didn't want it to look too short when I tied it around. And so when I put up the pictures, you'll see it was a perfect length. Made sure. I actually am pretty impressed that I did as well as I did with pattern matching. I was worried about that because this is quite the print on this fabric. So let me just go ahead and show you. This is the full dress, and of course I have pictures, so I'll show you the pictures. But and I just did the insides. Are the only thing on the inside I did different was because I always serged my insides, but this time the back I just serged down the sides. I've done that before on a few times because I didn't want to serge it all as one piece, because then it'll look, I didn't want to add any bulk look to the back. So this is the shirt dress. Again, the pattern matching, and I'll throw in the pictures. And here's my modified collar. So what are the changes I made? First of all, the buttons are not functional. They are not functional. So what I end up doing, because I just cannot wrap my mind around written instructions on how to do a collar. This is my second time ever trying to do a collar. And it just, here's a picture. And if I can, let me pause and see if I can insert the video clip. Not sure what happened with the collar, but I am going to unpick. So all of that, I was able to insert the video clip. Put in bias binding. I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. When it got together, and here's a picture of how it looked, it was just horrible. And I don't know, something with my brain in reading how to do collars just cannot connect for whatever reason. And so I unpicked all of that. And what I did was, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know I just did I'll be doing a collective haul video pretty soon. And collective haul, for those who are not familiar, is when you have a haul and it's not just one thing. So it's not just pattern, it's not just a fabric haul, it's not just this kind of, it's going to be a haul that I got a lot of stuff, but I'm waiting on a couple things to still arrive. But one of the things I did order, if you follow me, is a box of bias tape. The place where I went and I'll leave a link for here in the area so much fabric. When I visited her, I took you guys along with, she still had some, not a lot, she still had some bias binding and rayon hem tape, 25 cents a yard for the rayon hem tape, and all of the bias binding was 75% off. So I got a box full of stuff, and I paid, was it $30 with shipping? Something around there. Yeah. And so one of the bias tapes I bought was white. So what I thought about, what will I do with the collar? Because my first thought was to ditch the project and just throw it in a corner, because that's what I did the first time when I did it was a shirt dress. I couldn't figure out the collar, and I was like, okay, I just put the piece in the corner. And I think I gave that away to Goodwill, I want to say. But at any rate, that's where this was going to go. But I like this print so much, and I was like, nope, just sit and just think about what are you going to do. And so I decided, why not add bias binding around it? And I left the collar, that one piece for the collar that flaps open. So I left that, right? And after I unpicked everything, I went ahead around the whole thing with this bias tape. And it just turned out really nice. And then I just overlapped the bias tape where you would have the buttonholes, and then added the buttons where the markings for the buttons holes were. Although I did not go all the way down, because I wanted to leave a little room for an opening at the bottom. So yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did, and I like the way it turned out. And so as I insert some pictures here, I will tell you, for me, the only trouble I had with the pattern truly was the collar. I just could not understand it. And so a couple people posted some links for me to read blogs. Again, I'm having issue with reading the instructions. So reading a blog about how to insert a collar is fine, but it's still not registering to me. So what I've been doing is looking up YouTube videos on collars, and that's helped me, because I'm more of a visual learner. I'm not much of, I read blogs from time to time, but I'm not a huge blog reader. I rather see somebody go through the steps as opposed to trying to read through somebody's steps. Because again, my mind just functions better. I'm just a different type of learner. And so, so yeah. And what I did do is, and maybe I didn't have to, since I was putting on this, the bias binding tape, I did put woven stay tape around the neckline, just so it wouldn't stretch or I have any issues down the line. But I don't know if I necessarily needed to do that, since I was putting the bias binding tape around there. So, so I have watched a couple videos. If you have any suggested videos on how to insert collars, please leave them below, or, well, YouTube might mark it as spam. Maybe just say whose channel it is and who I should go watch, or if somebody has a blog that they recorded a video and attached it to it, you can do that as well. Let me know that way. But that is the way I finished it. So I love it. I just love it. It's very summery, very flowy. And one of the things that was even more apparent, this has been apparent, I've been thinking about this for a while, is getting garment tags. But I was coming up short on a name that I wanted to use. It's gonna be Natural Dane, because it's in loving memory of my Great Dane. So it's gonna stay Natural Dane, but I didn't know if I want to say the Natural Dane collection, handmade by Natural Dane, or something like that. If you have a suggestion on that, feel free to leave that below, because I do want to get garment tags so I can just put them right in the center as a finishing touch to everything that I make. My sleeves, I just followed their instructions, which was really weird. I could have did this a whole lot easier than what they said. In the instructions, it said fold it over, and on the fold line stitch, then fold it over again, and then stitch baste stitch, that is, and then do a regular stitch. I was like, oh, I could have did that without going through all those changes, because, you know, yeah, well, you can't see, I mean, it's not obvious to the eye, but I could have saved poking holes with base stitches and all of that, and just could have did the fold over very easily, ironed it, and then stitched it down, as opposed to the fold and then base the fold line, and then fold it again, and then base that fold line, and then do a regular stitch next to the second fold line. That was just doing too much. So but other than that, I was fine with it. Yeah, I was fine with it. Definitely fine with it. I tried to see if I can match the pleats, I mean the sleeves up print, but yeah, I wasn't very successful there. But everywhere else worked out just fine. Everywhere else worked out just fine. So that is my sew together for summer dress. I have the remainder of my challenge projects to finish this month. I think I will hold on to this pattern. I'm sure I will. There's probably 2 other shirt dress patterns I want, and then I'll probably be good on shirt dress patterns, and they're all very different. So it's the cashmerette I want to get, very beautiful. And then I'm downloading, if you all follow Mimi G, you know she came out with her So Def magazine. She has the Katie dress, shirt dress, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I will be downloading that, and so I think I'm fine with those 3 types of shirt dresses. And I have a pattern of another shirt dress, but which that video is coming up. I'm working on finishing my pattern organization. I will have another D-stash. I just keep going down and down, and what is happening is I am, as a sidebar from what I was talking about today, as a sidebar, as I continue to go through my wish list, or I had this wish list, this notebook that had all the patterns I want to buy. And so I took one day, just about a half an hour, and went through and looked back up online all of those patterns I thought I was going to get, and end up taking off probably 98% of them. It's a couple I still want to get, but as you all know, I am more getting into pattern hacking, Franken pattern, maybe doing some self-drafting here and there, and so the need for the amount of patterns I had is not necessary, or to get is not even close to necessary anymore. So I will have another pattern D-stash coming up. And I thought after the first or second one I would be done with pattern D-stashes. So I guess never say never. I wouldn't have any more, but yeah. But this is one I will keep. I will keep this one on hand because it was easy to sew up. And the adjustments I made, I will say, the pivot and slide technique, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It truly works. Nancy Zieman, pivot and slide definitely works. So all right, I am done yammering. I'm going to go, and we will see you all in the next video. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, I've been follow the hashtag Sew Together for Summer on Instagram. You'll see all the dresses. I think is well over 1,500 posts for that challenge. All right, everybody, have a blessed week, and we'll see you in the next video.